New tonight, we're learning more about the prop gun that led to the death of a cinematographer on a movie set. According to the Associated Press, the assistant director didn't know the gun had live ammunition when he handed it to actor Alec Baldwin.
Baldwin then using that prop gun, also not knowing there were actually live rounds in there. According to the local news, the Santa Fe, New Mexican, Baldwin was told the gun was cold, meaning it did not have any ammo in it. A short time later, Baldwin accidentally shot 42-year-old Helena Hutchins and injured the production director, Joel Souza. Baldwin speaking out for the first time on Twitter today, conveying his shock and sadness of a tragic accident which took the life of a wife, mother, and colleague. Well, longtime industry workers say they are also questioning how on earth something like this could happen.
Yeah, news specialist Andrew Adams gave some insight tonight about how the process is supposed to work on a movie set. Andrew, walk us through this.
Well, Dini, I talked to a guy who has worked on dozens of movie sets, including 15 to 20, where he specifically managed props, and he says there are hard and fast rules and industry best practices to hopefully avoid a worst-case scenario like this one.
Every movie production requires attention to detail, which is why what happened on location in New Mexico
we were rehearsing and it went off.
Has left many in the industry stumped.
The number one rule in the movie business is no live ammunition ever makes it to a movie set.
According to newly released court records, an assistant director handed a loaded gun to actor Alec Baldwin and said it was safe to use, apparently not knowing it was loaded with live rounds. The cinematographer was killed. The director was wounded.
There's a lot of interesting things that have taken place on this that appear to be breakdowns here and there that I think will merit investigation.
Utah Crit Killen has numerous credits to his name for props, special effects, and other production jobs on movies like Blade Runner, Total Recall, and Star Wars Episode 1.
It's a check and a double check and a triple check to make sure the gun is empty.
He says prop guns are often real guns, and a federal firearms licensed special effects or props worker is usually the one who possesses the gun offset until it's used in a scene. Blanks, he says, are usually kept separate from the gun until it's loaded in front of the director and actor.
So there's no way anything could get into there.
Where exactly the failures happened remains to be seen, but they've happened before.
Well, Brandon Lee was on the Crow. We had lunch, I believe it was 2 weeks before his untimely death. He was gaining ground and really going, and unfortunately a similar type incident happened where he was opposite the person with the gun, and evidently there was a live round in that gun as well.
Killen says any use of guns on set can potentially be dangerous.
We have to follow what we've been tried and true and learned, the hard way. We have to follow those procedures.
Killen does acknowledge that not all productions are equally gun safe. He says with most major productions, they're usually union jobs, and there is strict adherence to those rules, but lower budget, independent filmmaking, he says it's not always the case. And he says, and in this particular instance, which has been described as a low budget movie, there have been reports that perhaps there wasn't as close of observance of those rules when it came to safety.
Yeah, definitely a lot of unanswered questions out there, and such a tragedy. Thanks, Andrew Adams, live for us tonight.